Yo, hey guys, what is up? It's JJ Tech here, back again for another brand new video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a review on this bad boy right here, the Google Home Mini. Now, I know I said a review, but before we actually get onto the Google Home Mini, let's see what's in the box. Alrighty, so opening this bad boy up, as you can see here, it looks pretty empty, right? Well, when you take this little palette out, you're greeted with, of course, in a little guide on how to get started. It tells you the directions in the back there, and then a bunch of books, manuals, whatnot, a bunch of boring stuff. And then it does come with the cable to actually plug it in, but obviously it's currently plugged in, and then you just get the Google Home Mini. So that's pretty much all that's in the box. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Let's get all this talking out of the way and let's dive right in. Alrighty, so as you can see here, the setup process is very easy. In order to get this thing set up, first thing you have to do is obviously plug it in and then plug the micro USB cable to the Google Home. And yes, I did say micro USB. Sadly, it is not a USB-C cable, but it's fine. Yet again, I'm gonna get to the price at the end of the video. I'm pretty sure most of you know at this point, but if you don't, stay tuned for the end of the video. After you do all that, then you have to download the Google Home app, and when you get right into it, this is the first thing that's gonna pop up is your nickname on top, whatever you decide to name it. And then you get a bunch of features, and pretty much it tells you how to use the Google. It pretty much tells you how to use the Google Home Mini. Things and commands that you could say to Google Assistant if you're not quite familiar with it. And then, like I said, you can also link your Spotify, Pandora, I believe even your Apple Music subscription, and obviously YouTube Music. I mean, that's obviously a must. And then, of course, you can check the weather and whatnot on the app. And of course, it tells you also news here. If you go to this little tab next to the little home icon, it tells you, recent events, the discovered tab and whatnot, and basically everything that's going on in the world right now. Now, after you do all that, you're pretty much all set up to use your Google Home Mini, and it will ask you if you want to do voice recognition to where it only picks up to your voice. You can also set that up in the app. That pretty much it asks you that when you are setting up the Google Home Mini, but if you don't happen to be doing it while you're in the setup, you can also go to settings and do that as well. Now, after you're done setting up all of that, you're pretty much ready to use your Google Home Mini. And in case you guys are wondering what color this is, this one is called charcoal color here. I mean, you can tell it's very dark, kind of like charcoal. And then as we turn it to the back, it just shows you, the little G logo for Google, and you got this little kind of reddish, orangish color. And then you move on to the side here, and there's only one button on the Google Home Mini, and that is the mute button, in case you kind of don't want Google to, listen to you, I guess, while you're not using it. You can always just mute it on the side. And then to finalize the design at the front here, we do have like this fabric type material in the front of the actual Google Home Mini. And then you do get these little 3 lights here, little 4 lights actually. And then if you tap on the right, it does turn up the volume, and then if you tap on the left, it turns it down. Now, it's pretty much the overview of the Google Home Mini, of the overall design. And then this is the cable. Basic is just white, like I said, with micro USB. Sadly, I know, yet again, for the price, it makes sense. Now, you can pretty much set this up wherever you want, and when you do set it up, it does ask you where you are actually placing it. So if you're placing it in your living room, you would have to choose the option living room on the actual app. So basically, I guess Google can configure the type of room and kind of guess the size of the room, so it can, amplify the voice, I guess, if you're in a larger or smaller room. But hey, it's a good feature. Some other features of the Google Home Mini is, obviously, at the end of the day, it is an assistant. You can pretty much ask it whatever you want. Now, I'm not gonna say in the hey word, because I feel like I'm gonna trigger a lot of Google Home Minis out there. But you guys pretty much know how it works. You say hey, and then I think you guys know what I mean. Google, you say that, and then it pretty much triggers it. It turns it on, and then you can ask it pretty much wherever, and then you can ask it pretty much whatever you want. Now, in order to actually wake it up, you do have to say hey, Google, because if you don't, you can't just be like, what's 1 + 1? As you can see, nothing happens. The lights do turn on because it does kind of recognize that you're talking to it, but you actually have to say the hey and then the command word in order to trigger it. And the overall speaker itself, how's the sound quality? Now I did test it for a little bit. This is not my Google Home Mini, so I can't do like an extensive type of review of this, but I've had this for a couple of days now, and I've been testing it. Like I said, I connected it for a little bit, played some music for a little bit actually before this video, and I gotta say guys, the overall quality on this thing is decent. It's not the best, obviously. Yet again, when I tell you the price, you're gonna understand why I say that. I mean, first of all, the size. I mean, this thing's like the size of my hand, and my hand is not big at all. It is very small. So yeah, it's pretty much a hockey puck type size. Like I said, it's very small, but the speaker on this thing is actually pretty decent. Now I say decent because the bass, when you turn it up, it does get a little bit distorted. And in lower volumes, if you do put it too low, you can practically not hear it. It almost brings out the bass too much, and you can almost not hear the actual person singing or doing whatever, and it kind of overpowers it. So overall, the sound quality is decent. You know, yet again, if you're buying this, you're not really buying it for the sound quality too much. You're pretty much buying it just because you want a little simple assistant to ask basic questions. Now you can also, like I said, if you have light bulbs and a smart speaker hooked up, you can all attach that to the Google Assistant. You can pretty much say, hey Google, and then you can see I triggered it. You can pretty much say, hey, turn on the lights in the living room or turn on the lights in the bathroom. Now that depends, like I said, if you do have it all wired and connected to this. If you don't, you can't do any of that stuff. Like I said, if you have a smart refrigerator, all that stuff can connect to this seamlessly. You can just be like, hey, turn on the microwave and set it to 4 minutes, stuff like that. Now in terms of the app, there isn't really much to talk about for the app. It's very, very simple actually. As you can see here, this is pretty much how it is. It asks you basic stuff, like right here it says routines, stuff like that, and then you have your broadcast and your media. If you do click media here, let me just click that. If you do click media, which is not working right now, but if you click media, like I said, it worked here. As you can see, if you have Pandora or Apple Music linked or whatever linked to the Google Home app, you can pretty much play music directly from the app. You don't have to be out of the app in order for Google to play music. You can literally have your phone off. It doesn't matter. You can have it over there across the room. But as long as it's connected to this, you can pretty much ask it to play any kind of song you want. But yet again, it is a smart speaker, a smart assistant. It's very smart. I mean, it's in the name. So like I said, pretty much anything you ask it, it will work. Like I said, you do have to be linked, like I said, to your Google account, obviously. But you also have to be on the same Wi-Fi. For example, this can't be on LTE and then this on Wi-Fi. It has to be either Wi-Fi or LTE or LTE, if that makes sense. But yeah guys, that pretty much is it for the Google Home Mini. I mean, there really isn't much to talk about. At the end of the day, it is just a normal Google smart speaker. Like I said, this is the cheapest one they make. And speaking of cheap, this thing does go for, I believe, $50. Now I'm not too updated on the price, but it doesn't matter because I will be showing it up here on screen. It's either $50 or $25. Either way, that is a great deal for what you're getting here. I mean, you're getting a little speaker which is pretty decent. It's pretty good. And then, like I said, very good build quality. The sound quality is pretty good. I mean, you're getting a whole app connected to it. You can pretty much control your whole home if you do have it connected. You can pretty much control your whole home just by using your voice. So yeah, either 50 or $25. Yet again, still a great deal either way. But yeah guys, that pretty much wraps up today's video. And stay tuned for that RAM TRX video that is coming right after this video. It's still in the works because it is a pretty factual video. So pretty much I have to gather a bunch of facts about the RAM TRX because I want to make sure everything is perfect. So this video will be coming first, and then the RAM TRX video will be coming next. So make sure to subscribe down below, hit that big red button. Also turn on those post notifications so you can get notified every time I upload a brand new video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.